Good morning, Neil here with the Off the Lip radio show and my little series called Who's Who in Santa Cruz, and I'm here for video number 2 with Camille Ellis, who is a life coach, and today she's going to be talking about new perspective.
Changing your perspective.
Changing your perspective.
Yeah. If you want different results, you should probably look at a different perspective.
Right, or just quit hitting your head against the wall. Okay,
Yeah.
my perspective was probably not as good as your perspective.
Well, I think it's management of the way you think about things. We all have an idea about something, and we think that's a fact.
Right.
And often that's not a fact at all. It's just something you think.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So say somebody cuts you off on the highway and you have many thoughts. Maybe
You know what I do? I blow them a kiss.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I wish them, to please move ahead of me and get on with their day, because maybe they're having an emergency.
But a lot of people like to fight. They want to get all.
Yeah, but what if they really are having an emergency?
Oh, yeah.
Right? You want them to get where they're going.
Sure.
So you don't need to be upset. You don't need to be stressed, right? The idea is to not be stressed. Same goes if somebody's driving in front of you and they're going slow and you're running late.
It seems so hard today. It seems like today's world is so much angst and.
But that's the problem, is you have to get yourself in the mindset of not wanting that, so you're going to be calm. You're going to choose to be calm. You have the power to do that.
Yep.
You can just say, I'm just going to be calm in chaos. When things are terrible, I'm still going to be able and capable and be better.
Are there some tools that you recommend as far as...
Pay attention to how you're thinking.
Yeah.
Right? So if you think this person who cut you off is a bad person, that may not be true. It's just your thought.
Right.
But you thinking that's a bad person is going to cause stress.
So you got to pay attention to your own thoughts.
Yeah. You're creating your world.
Yeah.
Whatever you're thinking, you're creating it by how you think about it.
Right.
So if you want to make things better, look at the different ways of the circumstance, which is the facts. Say your child's driving you crazy, or your parent. Look at the facts. They are your child, or they are their parent, and they're fine. It's how you're managing yourself that makes it not fine. So how can you make it fine? How can you just be calm and more controlled, so you're using your wisdom basically to manage yourself in a terrible situation? Terrible is terrible. You're not going to make terrible better.
If we all did that, it would be a better world, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if people could be calm, it'd be wonderful. Then we wouldn't have such craziness around us.
How long have you been a life coach for?
I've been coaching for going on 11, nope, way past that.
More?
13 years.
And have you felt the anger and the angst get
Yes.
deeper and deeper, right?
Yes. Everybody wants to blame and shame.
Politically and...
Yes, and create divide. So if I think differently than you, then people want to think the other one's wrong, right?
Yeah, of course.
Instead of just saying it's okay if, you support that person and I support this, or whatever. It's like our freedom, right, to choose for ourselves.
Whatever the results are, you should be just be nice.
Well, kindness always wins, but it doesn't
cost zero to be nice. It doesn't cost zero.
Why would you waste all your energy on something you can't even control?
Right.
We can't. All we can do is take care of ourselves. We live in our environment. My environment's different than yours. And so I can have the perspective of what works for me, that serves me, so at the end of the day when I rest my head, I feel really good. I'm at peace. I know I did my best.
If I came and saw you and sat on your couch and talking about, Neil's new perspective, give me 3 things I should be working on.
What do you want?
I want to be calm, like you said,
Okay, so how do you feel calm?
I feel calm. I think when I don't feel stressed inside my body and mind,
But does that thought calm you?
Well, you got to pay attention. You have to sit. I kind of sit back and, I keep. It's like today, my age. I lose my glasses. I lose my keys. I lose my bike. I lose my wallet. I lose my.
So you're not really aware of your environment.
I get mad at myself. God,
Slow
left my
down.
phone on my back bumper the other day, and I drove half a mile down the road, came back, and looking for my phone, it was on my back bumper. The-
Can you slow
I
down
go, Neil, you know
and
what?
pay attention?
Yeah.
What are you doing right
And I'm
now?
looking for something else, but my phone's over here, and I got,
So why are you putting yourself in a place of stress? You're racing around. You're like doing something that
put
isn't even happening.
Too much on my plate.
So you're not in the moment.
Too much on my plate per
Just
day.
slow down. You can do it. You can do the same thing whether you are stressing out or not. That's the beauty of it. You can do exactly what you're going to do today with stress or without stress. It's a choice.
Right.
So when I have a lot of things to do, I just do it. I don't even think about it. I'm just like, okay, I'm going. It's time to leave. I got my stuff. I don't think about it. It's a routine. But you have to practice or it'll never happen.
Are you sad here's my question. Are you sad during every day of your existence? Are you sad at some point during the day for a certain period of time due to the loss of your son?
No.
You don't, not
I
anymore?
mean, it comes to me, certainly. Grief
Right.
is like that. Grief comes in waves.
But do you go through a
and then
period
it
of like,
leaves.
ah.
But it doesn't stay. I just observe it. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm feeling really sad right now.
Right.
Why? I question it. I get really curious. I always
Yeah.
say when you're feeling an emotion, get curious with that emotion and look at it like you would a bug on the ground and notice it. What
Okay.
is it doing to you?
Right.
Is all of that true? Is it serving you? Because there is clean pain and there is dirty pain. And your story about your pain is going to make it clean or dirty. And then you get to live your life by choice
Right.
in the story you tell about it.
Do you-
Losing my son, to me, of course it's sad. It's never going to be a happy thing that I lost my son. But I had my son, and in order to have him, I had to be willing to lose him.
Do you go back and look upon certain moments in you guys' life, you and your son's life, where it was just fun and
Oh,
you had a
sure.
great time and
Yeah, there was good and bad.
yeah?
And I remember
So
all
it was
of
good.
them.
It was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he was amazing. I remember all that. I remember
Yeah.
the terrible things too.
Right.
You know how some people, when somebody dies, they think you should never talk about the terrible parts. I talk about all of it
Okay.
because it taught me so much.
Yeah.
So yes, I have all the experiences, but I still honor it like it was a privilege.
Yeah.
Because it was. In my world, I believe it was a privilege. And in order to have my son, I had to be willing to lose him. And in
Right.
order to honor him, I must be okay with losing him. Because if I'm not okay, then I take away from his life and his purpose.
Yeah.
But that's my perspective on life and death and loss. But we're all dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he just died sooner than any one of us ever thought he would.
Right. Right.
And then I had to deal with that. And I
Yeah.
got to deal with it on purpose. So I chose, okay, how do I want this to be? And it has to be right. You have to feel it in your heart.
Did you have when I talked about the other day, getting to the other side of the river and getting to the other, right?
Yeah.
Did you have a point where, okay, I'm going to grieve my son, but I need to get off this. I need to get to the other side.
I still do that every time I feel
You do?
grief. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
feel it. I just sit with it and I let it be there. And I know it's going to be okay.
Okay.
It always is okay, right?
Yeah.
Even with people's grief right now for the fires, right? Everybody's grieving because California's had so many fires and some people have been personally affected by them. And there's grief that's involved with that.
Yeah.
So you can heal that by the story you're telling about it. It could always be worse. And that sometimes is the best way to look at your situation.
Right.
I felt lucky that when my son died, I was able to see him and say goodbye. He left me a note. I was so lucky to get that. You know, there's so many things. Some parents don't even get to see their children. Maybe
Yeah.
they, get blown up in a war or something horrible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't have that experience.
Yeah.
So there's always a better perspective of looking at it.
You still have that note, right?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You read it often?
No,
No. Just put it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no point in reading it.
Not really. Oh.
I already read it.
Yeah, you read it. Yeah.
It's not a good note.
Yeah.
But he's just saying goodbye.
Yeah.
So if I want to cry and be miserable, I could go read it.
Yeah.
And I could go through that whole experience again. You see how we relive things and we make it mean certain things? I'm just grateful that I got a note. Some people don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so how do you want to manage your grief when you lose somebody?
Yeah.
It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel terrible things. And it's also okay to feel like you're healing through them. And practice your gratitude through it.
So what's your definition of a new perspective? As far as
definition.
like in layman's terms, the new perspective can be. What would you?
I like to look at everything that's happening in life has many angles,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just like looking through a camera,
Mm-hmm.
there are different photographers who do see different things through different lenses.
Right.
Well, that's life, and your perspective is what lens are you using? How are you seeing it?
Yeah.
Are you only seeing one part, or are you seeing the whole picture?
Yeah.
I see my son's life as the whole life. I don't just see his death. So it's a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
I got to witness his entire life.
Yeah.
You know, I was lucky.
Yeah. You're his mom.
Yeah. So you can tell one sentence to change everything,
Right.
and that will save you, even when you're stressed out. Like, that's why I said, how do you want to feel when you're stressed? You want to say, I'm in control and I can do this. Take a deep breath. I got the power to do this. I'm super smart. You just tell yourself the sentence that gives you the strength to
Sure,
get through your stress. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I can have somebody being crazy in front of me, some wild person, and be like, okay,
Not me.
right. You just kind of say, hey, I wish you well, you
Yeah.
know? I'm going to move on now.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Right.
I'm really clear. I don't like that.
So if people want a new perspective, they can come see you. You can help them with that.
Absolutely.
And your website is what?
It's yourcoachcamille.com.
That's right. And there's a Facebook page, isn't there? Or is it Instagram? Is there a
There's
Facebook page?
Instagram. I'm Camille Ellis. Camille_Ellis _ Life Coach
and,
on Instagram.
Facebook is
Camille Ellis.
okay. Or something like that. You can
Yeah.
find it. Do you want people to call you if they
It's
need?
on. The links are on my
Can people
website.
call you?
Absolutely.
What's the number?
831-246
Yeah.
1038.
This is Camille Ellis. This is.
I have one more thing I want to add.
You can
too.
You can tell 21 things if you want.
Well, I'm hoping to start a support grief coaching group for
Yeah.
those who were affected in the fires here in this county,
Mhm.
because they are still struggling, and that would be a free group program. I don't know
Okay.
all the details of when and where because I'm still working on it. But I
Okay.
do
So
want
when you
that.
get those details, you can give them to me, and I can put them with the videos
Absolutely.
and put it up there for you and
Absolutely.
get it out there.
Yeah.
Get it out there.
Yeah.
All right. So check it out. We got more videos to come with the lovely Camille Ellis, and today's topic was new perspective. And go see her if you want to get a new perspective. I'm gonna get a new perspective. I need to slow the heck down and get shit off my plate. Thanks, Camille.
My pleasure.